Chapter 4. Goodbye at the Airport. Some people walk into our lives for only a few hours, yet their memory stays long after they have gone. The crowd flowed around them like a river. "I suppose this is goodbye," Jin-Wan said. "I suppose it is." He bowed politely. "It was a pleasure meeting you, Phoebe." "You too, Jin-Wan. I hope your trip gives you everything you're looking for." She smiled. "And I hope yours does too." They walked in opposite directions. Neither looked back. Phoebe watched him disappear into the crowd before taking a deep breath. She smiled to herself. "Don't be silly," she whispered. "He was just a kind stranger." Besides, she hadn't come to Korea looking for love. She had come to find herself. As she adjusted her backpack and took her first steps into the bright Seoul morning, she had no idea that fate had quietly smiled, because sometimes the most important goodbyes are only the beginning. The cool autumn air greeted Phoebe the moment the airport doors slid open. She paused for a second, taking a slow breath. This was it. South Korea, a country she had dreamed of visiting for years. People hurried past with rolling suitcases, greeting loved ones, calling taxis, laughing into their phones. Conversations in Korean filled the air, blending with the distant sound of buses arriving outside the terminal. For the first time in her life, Phoebe stood in a country where she knew no one. Her fingers tightened around the handles of her crutches. A small voice inside whispered, "You can still go home." Another voice answered almost immediately, "No. You've come this far." She smiled to herself. One step at a time. Tap, step, tap, step. The familiar rhythm echoed across the polished floor as she followed the airport signs towards the airport railroad. Everything was new. The language, the faces, the smell of freshly baked pastries drifting from cafes. Even the announcements sounded musical. She stopped in front of a ticket machine. Rows of Korean characters covered the screen. For a brief moment, panic fluttered inside her chest. "What do I press?" She looked around, embarrassed. A young university student noticed her hesitation and walked over. "Excuse me," he said in careful English. "Do you need help?" Phoebe smiled gratefully. "Yes, please." Within a minute, he had shown her how to buy a ticket. Before leaving, he bowed politely. "Welcome to Korea." "Thank you." As he disappeared into the crowd, Phoebe couldn't help smiling. Maybe traveling alone didn't mean being alone. Sometimes kindness spoke every language. An hour later, the train emerged from a tunnel and the skyline of Seoul spread before her. Glass skyscrapers shimmered beneath the afternoon sun. Ancient temple rooftops peeked between modern buildings. The Han River sparkled like silver. Phoebe rested her forehead against the window. It really is beautiful. She reached for her phone and quickly snapped a picture. Without thinking, she opened the family group chat. Phoebe. "Made it safely! Look where I am!" Almost instantly, 3 dots appeared. "Mom. Thank goodness! Are you all right? Did you eat? Are you tired?" Phoebe laughed. Some things never changed. Phoebe. "I'm okay, Mum. I promise." Dad. "Proud of you, Peanut." Her eyes became misty. She typed only 2 words. "Love you." The boutique hotel sat on a quiet street lined with ginkgo trees whose leaves had turned brilliant shades of gold. Inside, the receptionist greeted her with a warm smile. "Welcome, Miss Tran." Checking in took only a few minutes. When she finally unlocked the door to her room, she stood quietly in the center of it. A large window overlooked the city. A comfortable bed sat neatly against one wall. A small writing desk waited beside the window. It wasn't luxurious. It didn't need to be. It was hers. For the next 2 weeks, this little room would be home. She placed her suitcase beside the bed and slowly walked to the window. Cars moved like tiny toys far below. People hurried along the footpaths. Everyone had somewhere to be. No one knew her. No one saw her as the girl with the disability. She was simply another traveler. For the first time in years, she felt wonderfully invisible. That evening, she video called her parents. Linda answered before the phone had rung twice. "Oh, sweetheart. Mum, you look tired. I've been traveling for almost 11 hours. I knew I should have come with you." Phoebe laughed. "Mum!" Her father appeared beside the camera. "Show us the room." She turned the phone slowly. "The bed. The bathroom. The view." Her mother nodded approvingly. "It looks clean." Phoebe grinned. "I knew you'd say that." Her father smiled. "Have you eaten?" "Not yet." "Then after we hang up, go and find something delicious." "I will." Linda's eyes softened. "We're proud of you." Those 4 words warmed Phoebe's heart more than anything else. Meanwhile, across the city, Jinwan unlocked the front door of his family home. His mother hurried over, embracing him warmly. "You're home." "I've missed you." "I've missed you too, Mother." His father stepped into the hallway. "The meeting is tomorrow evening." Jinwan already knew what he meant. The arranged introduction, the woman his parents hoped he would marry. He forced a polite smile. "I remember." His mother noticed the tiredness in his eyes. "The flight was long?" "A little." "You should rest." He nodded, but sleep refused to come. Instead, his thoughts wandered back to the airplane, to a young Australian woman who had smiled shyly while checking her hair in a tiny mirror. He found himself smiling without realizing it. "What are you smiling about?" His younger sister, Sumin, leaned against the doorway with folded arms. "Nothing." She raised an eyebrow. "You're smiling at nothing?" "It's just—" He paused. "I met someone interesting on the flight." "Oh, it's not like that." She laughed. "You're blushing." "I am not." "You are." He shook his head. "We just talked." "What's her name?" "Phoebe." His sister smiled knowingly. "I hope you meet her again." Jinwan looked out towards the evening sky. "So do I." Then he caught himself. Why was he hoping for that? She was a stranger, a traveler, someone who would probably return to Australia in a few weeks. Their paths had crossed once, that was all, or so he believed. Back in her hotel room, Phoebe sat by the window with a cup of hot tea. The city lights twinkled outside like stars scattered across the streets. She opened her journal. "Dear future me," she paused before writing. "Today I stood in a foreign country by myself. I was frightened more times than I can count. But every time fear whispered that I couldn't, I answered with one more step." She smiled and closed the notebook. Then she looked out over Seoul. Somewhere beyond those countless lights, a kind man named Jin Won was beginning to wonder why he couldn't stop thinking about the cheerful traveler he had met above the clouds. Neither of them knew it yet. But fate had not finished writing their story. It had only just turned the page.